What's happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. I know you guys could probably already tell it is going down. Just by that title alone, you're definitely going to see this. And as we got that Fox News the 5 host, Harold Ford Jr. back at it again, guys. He's battling it out head to head against that Jessica Tarloff, trying to see who has been most affected by that Trump derangement syndrome. And I will say he's making a very strong case in this newest segment, guys. I'm excited to get into it. So now I'm straight into it. So make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Before we even get into it, you guys, hit that like button, also hit that subscribe button for your boy. And without further ado, let's jump straight into it, folks. Check this one out.
Who's been missing from all this conversation, Harold? Where's Ron Klain, the former chief of staff to Joe Biden? Because he was one of the people who really catered to the far left early on Green New Deal stuff, on all of these things, because he wanted their votes for some of the legislation. And now he's nowhere to be found.
Yeah, you know, I listened to my friend Joe Scarborough. I think he's right. I think that Bernie Sanders said some things earlier that I don't necessarily agree with.
Who was that?
Senator Sanders said that Democrats should not be surprised that working class people have abandoned him. And he went down a list and enumerated some of the things that he believes in, and he's entitled to those beliefs. But I have a counter argument. I think working class people are capitalist. Working class people don't want to be overtaxed. Working class people don't want to be lorded over and dictated to by rich people, big corporations, or politicians who are sanctimonious.
Sounds like they're finally starting to realize why this race was not even close enough to compare. It's because they just simply didn't appeal to the working class. You know, tampons in men's bathrooms is not going to appeal to the working class. Shipping our hard-earned tax dollars overseas is not going to appeal to the working class.
Working class people don't want to be lorded over and dictated to by rich people, big corporations, or politicians who are sanctimonious. And if we're going to find our way back to that group, I was in Virginia this morning near Hot Springs, Virginia, coming back to the airport in Charlottesville and was driving. The number of Trump van signs I saw in these neighborhoods that 25, 30 years ago would have had Democratic yard signs. It just reminded me of the real answer over the last several years to this political education that Democrats and even Republicans, whose party has been changed and transformed over the last several years, the political education's name is Donald Trump. And I'm not a supporter of Donald Trump, but I'm just trying to understand politics here. And I would caution my party, stop telling Democrats in the country that democracy is dead. Mm-hmm. Stop telling people that he's Hitler and that we somehow or another going to find our way off a deep, deep cliff. We are the United States of America. And as a political party, if we want back in, we can't get ourselves back in by trying to ice ourselves and shut ourselves out. Working class Americans.
Come on now, you guys. Harold Ford Jr. not too far off from reality in this segment right here. I feel like he is just hitting the nail right on the head. Where he's saying we need to, look within and stop blaming Donald Trump. Stop blaming his supporters, his voters for our shortcomings. We need to look and do a little self-reflection. What are we putting out there that's not appealing to American citizens? I mean, come on, y'all. It's simple.
Back in by trying to ice ourselves and shut ourselves out. Working class Americans found a voice this election. It's not indefinite or infinite that this voice of Donald Trump's will be there, for that matter, what he's espousing. But right now it is. And for us to learn from it, we have to learn from it and not get so constipated in the head and diarrhea with the mouth about how bad he is and how bad this moment is. Let's do a little introspection here and figure out what we can do to help working class capitalists capitalize on being Americans again.
And take your probiotics, too. All right. Hey, Judge, one of the things that they did is they were just so hyper-focused on wealthier liberal issues like student loan debt forgiveness.
Yeah.
That really made this working class mad.
And it made you mad, too.
Oh, yeah.
It's all of us, Let's make the working man who made a decision not to go to college or is still paying for his F-150, let's make him pay for the loans of people who are lawyers and doctors. Yeah. Look, the Democrats did this to themselves. And, Richie Torres is so right in taking them down. Bernie Sanders is right. they did abandon the working class, because what they told the working class was, and this is why the blue cities went right with Donald Trump. They said, we're going to defund the police. The police are Hitler too. And then all of a sudden, the blue cities are inundated with crime. Nobody has the ability to protect the minority community. And it was the left that said, hey, let's open the borders. And then the people living in the inner cities were suffering. Their kids were taken out of schools so that the immigrants could be in the schools or be in the playgrounds. It was the Democrats who said to young girls in America, forget your dreams. We're going to put men in women's sports. And you know what I did? I asked my producer and I, Roman, we were sitting there trying to figure out, why would the Democrat Party do this to young girls? And it was like 1.1% of the population is transgender. And of that number, less than 100 are in the NCAA. And yet what they wanted to do was destroy every young girl's dreams, because we got to champion the transgenders. Well, let them have their own game in their own lane. So when you take the side of people who need the government, and find my final example, kids who went to college. The youth vote was with Donald Trump. You know why? Because their parents work hard to put them in school, and they believe in America. And they didn't want to hear that they were oppressors or, white supremacists, or that they were colonizers. They wanted to raise the American flag. The Democrat Party created it, and they deserve it.
And they put so much more effort.
Judge Janine with another emotional stance. And I mean, honestly, you feel her wholeheartedly. They brought this on themselves. Like I said on the front half, they simply did not appeal to the everyday working class American citizen. Their campaign went against all American values, what we were born and raised on. And it was just truly tough when you got Donald Trump, on the other hand, running a common sense campaign on the other side. It was a no-brainer. Come on, y'all.
And they're talking about the electric vehicle tax credit, then like the child tax credit. And now you see them basically having to scramble in California to try to deal with an energy crisis.
Yeah, well, Janine's right. I think they panicked after Floyd. And when Democrats get nervous, they just start appeasing. They just start giving people things. They're like, OK, you guys are upset. Here's billions of dollars to BLM. What else you want? DEI jobs. Here's some jobs. Oh, you guys hate police? Yeah, we hate police, too. And they started kneeling. They literally submitted to the far left. And then it bubbled up to corporate America, bubbled up to sports, and it took over the country. And Asians were like, wait a second, we kind of like merit. And the Hispanics were like, what's Latinx? And all the working class white guys were like, we just want to wear a sombrero on Halloween. Can you guys leave us alone with the pronouns? And then Biden, he should have been the one, because he's the old white guy, to shut it down, but he didn't know what he was doing. Remember, they were just passing him things to sign about equity. He proclaimed Transgender Day on Easter Sunday. Yep. Fool. Yeah. So Kamala, California girl, doesn't know how to handle any of this stuff. She was like, that's how she got ahead in life. And then Bernie made a point, and I would disagree a little bit about that. What's your name again, Harold?
My name's Harold Ford Jr.
Bernie's like, can we talk about...
Harold.
It's in your face, Harold. Thanks, Fudge Janine. Bernie's like, can we talk about wages or health care or education? The stuff that we always beat Republicans on year after year. That's all. And so they got hijacked by extremists.
Yo, there we have it, guys. I'm not sure what we just witnessed during that segment, but it seemed like Harold Ford Jr. is having a come to reality moment. He's no longer living in that false reality, Trump deranged world where he can see straight through to the truth on both sides, where he's saying, hey, we can't sit and try to blame the other side or blame the voters for our shortcomings. We have to look within and start reflecting on what policies we didn't hit on. I don't know what it's going to take to get this new reasonable version Harold Ford Jr. to continue to show up on Fox News The 5 segment in, segment day in and day out, guys. But definitely hop in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Also, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you did enjoy more content like this, catch you guys on the next one.